Many thanks for joining us on the news at this hour. I am Joy Annie. Our top stories. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State on his re-election. Gwagwalada legislative arm gets new speaker. And of course, FCT police intercepts traffic recovery suspect, recovers 3 mobile phones, cutlass and motorcycle. And on business, Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports over 200 Lassa fever deaths across the country. And of course, on business, Nigeria Customs Service and BAT, Nigeria signs deal to protect legitimate investment. And on the news in detail, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State on his re-election, but called on the opposition to rally around him. President Tinubu, in a statement via his spokesman, Bayo Nanuga, said the resounding victory in Saturday's Ekiti State governorship election is a clear vote of confidence in continuity, stability, and people-centered governance. President Tinubu urged Governor Oyebanji to remain magnanimous in victory and to carry all Ekiti people along as he consolidates on his achievement in the next 4 years. The president also commended all those who contested the election with the governor for exercising their democratic right, saying it is now time to rally round Oyebanji in the task of taking Ekiti to the next level of governance. He said that the Ekiti State's governor's first term was marked by significant strides in infrastructure, agriculture, youth empowerment and employment, education, healthcare and rural development under the BO agenda. President Tinubu reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to partnering with the Ekiti State government to deliver more dividends of democracy and accelerate the renewed hope agenda across Nigeria. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, declared Oyebanji as the winner of the poll early Sunday, announcing that the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, got 319,224 votes to defeat his closest rival in the contest conducted across the state's 16 local government area. Now, the Vice President Kashim Shettima has showered praises on the late Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji, mother of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, describing her as a woman whose love went far beyond her family and shaped federal Nigeria's moral imagination. According to him, the leadership given by the late Reverend Iyaloja, General of Nigeria, who moved to the next stage of existence on June 15, 2013 at the age of 96, was demonstrated in the lives and in the institution she left behind, saying that a legacy that will instruct generations yet unborn. Specifically, the Vice President identified the like mother, like son case scenario between the President and his late mother, stating that the late Alhaja Mogaji shaped Nigeria's President into a leader and that she still serves Nigeria through the value she instilled in her son, the incumbent Nigerian leader. Extolling the late Alhaja Mogaji's leadership qualities, VP Shettima said she belonged to the rare class of Nigerians who knew that commerce is a service to humanity and that the marketplace is a meeting point of human need and human dignity. He recalled that the President's late mother spent the greater part of her life giving herself to the welfare of traders, to the protection of ordinary women who built their livelihood store by store, and to the organization of a community that the powerful had too often overlooked. And here in the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has reaffirmed its commitment to using the creative arts as a tool for social transformation, inclusion, and community development. This comes as Abuja hosts Africa's first ever international and Playback Theatre Festival, bringing together artists, educators, development partners and practitioners and cultural advocates from across the continent and beyond. Our correspondent Usman Katun Umar reports.
Abuja has become the center of global creative engagement as artists, educators, humanitarian actors and development practitioners gather for the maiden International Improve and Playback Theatre Festival in Africa. The week-long festival, the first of its kind on the continent, is exploring the use of improvisation and participatory theatre as tools for healing, social justice, mental well-being, community resilience and dialogue. Speaking at the opening ceremony, the Mandate Secretary of the FCT Social Development Secretariat, Malam Ibrahim Aminu, who was represented by Mrs. Nonye Obi, Director of Finance and Account, described the gathering as a celebration of creativity and human connection.
As participants engage in workshops, performances and meaningful exchanges over the coming days, I encourage you to embrace collaboration, share innovative ideas and develop lasting partnerships that will extend far beyond this festival. Together we can harness creativity as a catalyst for positive social transformation.
The Mandate Secretary also reaffirmed the commitment of the FCT administration to programs that empower vulnerable groups, strengthen families, promote gender equality, and support persons with disabilities. Also speaking, the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Obi Asika, said the creative industry remains a critical sector for economic growth and national development. Represented at the event by the Director of Human Resources Management, Mrs. Vivian Onyabo, the NCAC boss disclosed ongoing efforts to create platforms that will enable artists to earn more from their creative works while ensuring stronger protection of intellectual property rights. She also encouraged practitioners to embrace emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, as tools for expanding opportunities within the creative sector.
That technology, it will be difficult to do what we want to do. So, with tech, we can scale what we do in the creative sector. We all know about AI these days. It's important that we get to learn how to use AI, of course, as a tool to enhance our creative works.
The event, hosted by Access to Creative Play Foundation and Ensemble Improve Theatre, will feature interactive performances, workshops, masterclasses and networking sessions designed to foster collaboration among participants from Africa and other parts of the world. Usman Katun Umar, ASO Television News.
Now, the chairman of Kuje Area Council, Mr. Danjuma Samuel Shakolo, has paid a visit to his hometown of Rubochi, where he received a warm welcome from members of the community. During the visit, the chairman paid a courtesy call on the traditional ruler of the Rubochi chiefdom, the Rubochi, His Royal Highness Alhaji Ibrahim Muhammad Pada, to receive royal blessings following his swearing-in and assumption of office. A statement issued by the chairman's chief press secretary, Musa Samson Adayilo, said the traditional ruler congratulated the chairman on his election and urged residents of the area to support his administration in delivering meaningful development. Speaking on behalf of the youth, Mr. Joseph Yako expressed confidence in the chairman's ability to address the needs and aspirations of the people. In his response, the Kuje Area Council Chairman, Mr. Danjuma Samuel Shakolo, thanked the people of Rubochi for the warm reception and reaffirmed his commitment to inclusive leadership, grassroots development and an open-door policy. Now, the Bari Area Council has announced a number of key administrative and legislative appointments aimed at strengthening governance and improving service delivery within the council. The appointments were approved by the executive chairman of the council, Mr. Joshua Ishaku, and made available to journalists in Abuja. Among those appointed are Idris Yahuza Gaga as Council Secretary, Beatrice Elimelech as Private Secretary, and Tugura John Daniel as Chief of Staff. Also appointed are Ebeche Chenusonson as Deputy Chief of Staff and Ali Salihu Usman as Protocol Officer. In the legislative arm, Lucy Kosi has been named clerk, while Rejoice Fafa will serve as deputy clerk. Awariga Samuel was also appointed as sergeant at arms, completing the list of officials selected to serve in various capacities within the council administration. The council expressed confidence in the appointees and congratulated them on their new responsibilities as they prepare to contribute to the effective administrative and administration legislative activities of the council. While the Barrow Area Council chairman stated that the appointments take immediate effect. Still on the area councils now, the legislative arm of the Gwagwalada Area Council has elected its new speaker, Adamu Ishaku Kengiwa, speaking after his election, which was conducted through affirmation. The new speaker expressed appreciation to his colleagues for the confidence reposed in him, particularly for the peaceful process that led to his emergence.
I cannot go further without appreciating the Almighty God, the Controller General of the universe, that permitted us to be here within the peace and harmony. Additionally, I also appreciate you as my colleagues for paving way for peaceful conduction of the election in the Legislative House of Gwagwalada Area Council.
Honorable Ishaku Kengiwa called for unity among members, stressing that he would need their cooperation to succeed. He also pledged to work harmoniously with all members in the overall interest of the council, assuring them that he would uphold the law while expecting members of the House to do the same.
I will also be glad, as we are starting within the state of unity, so shall it be. I need your cooperation, and I have also promised you I will always cooperate with you. I will abide by the law, and you should also abide by the law. We shall always laugh among ourselves. We shall crack jokes among ourselves. But when it comes to sincerity and seriousness, we have to pay proper attention for the development of Gwagwalada Area Council.
Now, all 8 principal officers of the House emerged through affirmation. They include the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Yunusa Usman Aliyu, the Majority Leader, Honorable Zakari Salihu, the Chief Whip, Honorable Jibrin Habib, and the Minority Leader, Honorable Idris Muhammad. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports that the new legislative arm of Gwagwalada Area Council is expected to be inaugurated today, Monday, the 22nd June 2026 at the Council Legislative Chambers. You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now, still to come on the news. FCT police intercept traffic robbery suspect, recover 3 mobile phones, cutlass and motorcycles. To stay with us for this and more after this time out.
From From June 11th till July 19th, everything fit wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026 go happen. Touchlight all 104 matches on top 4 correct channels. Sharply grab your GoTV decoder, GoTenna plus 1 month jolly for only 15,000 naira. Live on Super Sport, only on GoTV.
Many thanks for staying there. Now, the Minority Caucus of the 10th House of Representatives has appointed the member representing Ogbaru Federal Constituency of Anambra State, Mr. Afam Ogene, as its new spokesperson. The appointment was announced following an online meeting of the caucus members held on June 19, 2026. In a statement signed by the minority leader, Mr. Frederick Agbedi, the caucus called on members of the media and the general public to accord Mr. Ogene the necessary cooperation and support in the discharge of his new responsibilities on behalf of the caucus. The caucus also demand a public apology from the chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, accusing him of misrepresenting the position of the House and showing contempt for the minority caucus. According to a statement issued by the newly appointed spokesperson, failure to tender the apology within 72 hours would compel the caucus to position and petition the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges for appropriate action. The statement maintained that while the House spokesperson is entitled to speak on behalf of the Speaker, the House leadership or the majority caucus, he lacks the mandate to speak for the entire House or attribute views to the minority caucus. It describes such action as a breach of parliamentary procedure and an infringement on the rights and privileges of members of the House. The minority caucus further reiterated that it is the constitutional responsibility of the Parliament to hold the executive accountable. Among other resolutions reached at the meeting, the caucus agreed to formally raise upon the resumption of plenary concerns over the persistent non-implementation of provisions of the national budget since 2024. Now, operatives of the FCT Police Command attached to Central Police Station, CPS, have intercepted and arrested a suspect with a dagger while attempting to rob a female victim of her mobile valuables. The suspect, identified as Yahuza Sani, was apprehended by the operatives at about 7 p.m. while on routine anti-crime patrol around National Hospital, Abuja. The arrest followed swift intervention by undercover patrol operatives who had been strategically deployed into the area in response to reports of traffic robberies targeting unsuspecting road users. According to a statement issued by the command spokesperson SP Josephine Ada, a search conducted on the suspect led to the recovery of 3 mobile phones, 1 dagger and 1 motorcycle used in the commission of the crime. SP Ada said one other suspected accomplice, however, fled the scene and is currently at large. She added that efforts are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspect, while the arrested suspect will be charged in court upon the conclusion of investigations. The command called on members of the public to continue to share timely intelligence to support police operations within the Federal Capital Territory to the nearest police station or through the command's emergency numbers. Now to health matters. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, reported that Lassa fever has claimed 214 lives in Nigeria, with the case fatality rate rising to 25%. According to the NCDC Lassa fever situation report for week 23, June 1 to June 7, 2026, the fatality rate represents an increase from the 18.9% recorded during the same period in 2025. It stated that the new confirmed cases remained steady in week 23, matching the number recorded in week 22. Infections were reported in Edo, Ondo, Bauchi, and Ebonyi states. No new healthcare worker infections were reported during the week. The report stated that the outbreak has spread across 23 states and 109 local government areas since January 2026, with suspected and confirmed cases increased compared to the corresponding period last year. According to the agency, 5 states account for 84% of all confirmed cases. Ondo leads with 28%, followed by Bauchi with 25%, Taraba with 15%, Edo with 10%, and Benue with 6%. The remaining 16% of cases are spread across 18 other states with confirmed infections. According to the NCDC, the predominant age group is 21 to 30 years, as young adults remain the most affected demographic, with cases ranging from 1 to 93 years and a median age of 30 years. The agency said that to coordinate the response, the National Lassa Fever Multi-Partner Multi-Sectoral Incident Management Systems remains activated. It noted that surveillance and case management efforts are ongoing across the 23 affected states. The Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) and the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) have informed the public, investors and all stakeholders in the communication sector and compliance requirement regarding changes in the ownership structure of licensed communications companies in Nigeria. The commissions, in a joint statement, said the requirement is pursuant to the provision of Section 90 of the Nigerian Communication Act 2003, the NCA 2003, Regulation 28, subsection 2 of the Competition Practices Regulation 2007 and Regulation 42 of the Licensing Regulations 2019, which collectively empower the NCC to oversee and review transactions affecting licenses and promote fair competition. They stated that effective immediately, any proposed transfer of ownership or control of shares in a license of the Nigerian Communication Commission amounting to 10% or more of the total share capital, as well as any series of share transfers which in aggregate exceed 10% of the total share capital of the licensee, shall require a letter of no objection from NCC in order for the changes to be effected and registered with the CAC. By this measure, the CAC will ensure that all requests for change in shareholding structure amounting to 10% or more submitted for registration by telecommunication companies are duly supported by evidence of NCC's prior consent and approval. The requirement is designed to preserve a fair and competitive market structure within the communications sector by preventing direct or indirect anti-competitive practices, while strengthening regulatory oversight or significant challenges or changes in ownership and control. It will further promote transparency, investor confidence, and regulatory certainty, and safeguard the long-term sustainability and stability of the industry. The NCC and the CAC reaffirmed their shared commitment to advancing a transparent, stable, and competitive business environment in Nigeria. Now, still on business, the Nigeria Customs Service, the NCS, and BAT Nigeria BATN has signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at deepening collaboration in the fight against smuggling, enhancing regulatory compliance, and protecting legitimate investment. The agreement, signed at the headquarters of the NCS in Maitama, Abuja, marks a major milestone in the long-standing relationship between both organizations and underscores a shared commitment to safeguarding lawful trade while tackling the gross threat posed by illicit tobacco product. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, described the agreement as a strategic framework that will strengthen cooperation between the service and BATN in addressing illegal cross-border trade and ensuring greater compliance across the tobacco value chain. Managing Director, BAT Nigeria, Yarub Al-Basharani, described the agreement as a landmark development that reflects the strength of the relationship between BATN and the NCS and reinforces a shared commitment to responsible business practices. The MOU is expected to facilitate greater information sharing, intelligence collaboration, capacity building, and coordinated enforcement efforts aimed at identifying and disrupting illicit trade networks operating within and across Nigeria's border. Well, that's the news. But before we go, a look at one of our major stories again. You are aware that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated Governor Abiodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State on his re-election. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I am Joy Annie.